Standard form is ax plus by is equal to c. Where remember, a and b, a is the coefficient of x, b is the coefficient of y, and a and b cannot be a fraction, and a cannot be negative. So this equation, y equals 3x plus 1, we need to put it in standard form. And in other words, we need to get the x and the y together on the left side. So we're going to have to subtract 3x from both sides. And we always write the x first. So that's negative 3x plus y is equal to 1. Now, are we finished? No, how come? A is negative, and it can't be negative. So we have to, you can either think of it as we have to multiply the whole equation by a negative 1 or divide by a negative 1. Same thing. I'm going to multiply everything by a negative 1, and the shortcut for multiplying by a negative 1 is it changes the sign of every single term. So that changes to 3x minus y is equal to negative 1. And that is in standard form. Let's look at number 2, is y equals 3/2 x minus 6. Okay, first thing, remember what I said, a and b, meaning the coefficient of x and the coefficient of y, cannot be a fraction. And does the coefficient in front of x have a fraction? So we need to clear our fractions first. So step 1, clear fractions. I am going to put this y over 1, put 3 over 2, x minus 6 over 1. So I turned everything into a fraction. What is my least common denominator? 2. So I'm going to multiply each term by 2. So when I do, I get 2y is equal to, on the other side the 2's go away, and I get 3x minus 12. Does everybody understand how I cleared the fractions? Okay, now I have to subtract 3x on both sides. So that's negative 3x plus 2y is equal to negative 12. Am I done? No, because a cannot be negative, so I have to multiply everything by a negative 1. Shortcut when you multiply everything by negative 1 is it changes the sign on both sides. So that's 3x minus 2y is equal to a positive 12. And there it is in standard form. Okay, example, this is problem. We're going to do two things. First, we are going to put this equation in slope-intercept form. Then we're going to put it in standard form and see and compare. So first let's put it in slope-intercept form. What formula would we use? The point-slope formula. So that's y minus a negative 2, which is plus 2, is equal to m is 2/7 times x minus 2. Okay, to put it in slope-intercept form, the next step would be we would have to do the distributive property. Very good. Now 2 over 7 times 2 over 1. If you need to go to the side and multiply, you can, or you can do that in your head. What do you get when you get that? Do that in your head? 4 over 7, right? Okay, right here. If I asked you to put it in slope-intercept form, that means we have to solve for y. So we're going to subtract 2. And when I do that, I'm going to put it 2 over 1. Okay, now right here, I have to get a common denominator. Remember, adding and subtracting fractions, you have to get a common denominator. What's a common denominator of 7 and 1? 7. So the only fraction that I have to rename is my denominator down here. So what would that give me, Nick? What would I put right here? Huh? Negative 14. Don't forget that negative. Negative 14. So negative 4 over 7 and a negative 14 over 7 is a negative 18 over 7. So there it is in slope-intercept form. Now what if I asked you to put it in standard form? Right here, we would do the exact same thing up until this point. We'd do the slope-intercept, do the distributive property. Okay, so this is identical, but here's where it gets different. We're not going to solve for y like we did here. We're going to put in standard form. But what do we do first with standard form? Clear fractions. You must clear your fractions. So I'm going to put the y over 1 and the 2 over 1. What am I going to multiply each term by? 7. So that's 7y plus 14 is equal to the 7's cancel here and I get 2x. 7's cancel and I get negative 4. Okay, did y'all follow what I did? Okay, now I need to move the move the 2x. So how do I move that? Subtract 2x on both sides. And I need to put it first in front of the y. So that's negative 2x plus 7y plus 14 is equal to negative 4. Okay, am I done? Is this in standard form? Now what do I need to move? The 14, I need to get this 14 over there with that negative 4. So what do I do to move it? Subtract 14 on both sides. Okay, now am I done? No, because a cannot be negative. That negative 2x, that needs to be a positive 2x. So I need to multiply everything by negative 1. Again, that changes the sign. So it's 2x minus 7y is equal to positive 18. Now it is in standard form. We're given the slope is negative 2/3 and going through the point 34, and we need to put in standard form. So to put in standard form, first we are going to have to plug it into the point slope formula, which is y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So that's y minus 4 is equal to negative 2/3 times x minus 3. So that's y minus 4 is equal to negative 2/3 x. Negative times a negative is a positive. Now again, if you can't do this in your head, go to the side. That's 2 over 3 times 3 over 1. Do I have to get a common denominator when I'm multiplying? No. I cross reduce. 3 goes into 3 one time. So what does this turn into? 2. Now, if the direction said to put in slope-intercept form, then I would add 4. But that's not what the direction said to do. What does it say to do? Put it in standard form. So what do I have to do first? Class, clear fractions. So I'm going to put each one over 1. And what am I going to multiply each term by?
3.
3. Very good. So that gives me 3y minus 12 is equal to the 3's cancel, negative 2x plus 6. Okay, now what do I have to do?
Make the negatives or change the sign.
Add 2x to both sides. Could I add 12 to at the same time? Could I do that? Add 12 here and add 12 on the right side. Draw my total line. So that's 2x plus 3y The 12s go away over on the left side is equal to, the two x's go away, and I get 18. Did y'all follow that? Any questions on writing in standard form?